Alright, so for this is the part two of the video. I got a phone call and then cut the video off. So this time we're actually going to try the back camera so I can walk around and show video. And maybe this will look better than me holding the camera in selfie stick mode. So, but again, this is the dining room. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better. Again, I really love the accent walls. You know, light gray up top, dark gray at the bottom, white trim in between. And then the sconces, really big fan on the sconces. I always try to give more than one light source. So here we have the sconces over here. We have the we have a couple light bulbs out, but we're going to replace that. I really am a big fan of the color curtains the tenants are picking out. One of the things I want to tell you guys is don't be cheap. You know, a lot of times people will not repaint the trim. We completely repainted the trims, and some of them, and I mean the molding around the mirrors. A lot of times we'll take it out, repaint it, and then put it back in just so it looks awesome. It looks crisp and it pops. Little things like that, even in a rental, make a big deal. You know what I mean? So from the dining room, we go into the kitchen. One thing I want to talk about real quick is we didn't replace the cabinets. We did everything but replace the cabinets. Again, we were charging the tenant less than market value, but I think we still got a really nice kitchen nonetheless. Let me switch over to this side, give you guys a better view of the kitchen. And the kitchen is huge. You know, this isn't an open concept, but the rooms and everything are so big that it kind of doesn't matter if it's open or not because you have tons of space. I think what we're going to do eventually is we're going to go back and paint the cabinets in oak color, a darker oak color, just so, you know, I can't go louder. I don't think we're going to be able to hide the patterns in the cabinet, but I think we're going to go back and just paint it a dark oak, something similar to the bathroom that's upstairs. And again, we didn't have any recessed lights. We actually had a ceiling fan in here, 2 ceiling fans in here, and I figured why not get rid of those ceiling fans, put the recessed lights. And I was kind of a little bit hesitant about that because of airflow circulation. But, you know, we have a hood range vent, and, you know, I think that's going to be powerful enough to kind of control everything, plus there's enough space in here. Again, we followed through with the accents, light gray on the top, darker gray on the bottom, you know, white trim in between to split it apart. One of my favorite things in here has to be the granite countertops. The tenant actually picked these out. The tenant picked the granite. I let the tenant pick the countertops and the backsplash, and she did a really good job. The champagne, which is what the backsplash is, looks really great. So, you know, again, advice to other people doing renovations or rentals, don't be cheap. So one of the things that we did is if you look at the hood range, there wasn't enough space, so we actually tiled all around it. And we also tiled the side of the oven. A lot of people don't do that, but I do that because it's easier to clean. When your tenants are cooking, or, you know, if your potential buyer is going to be cooking, you know, stuff is going to pop and splash. And if you just have drywall there, it's going to get very nasty very quickly. So keep it looking nice and have the backsplash go all the way through, you know, and this stuff is expensive, so you can get something cheaper, like the Subway towels, you know, they look really nice as well, run them all the way through, but just don't be cheap and just stop at where the corner is and then just leave the drywall on the left-hand side, which is this side. Don't just leave that. And also, again, just like we did upstairs, we have the transition strip here, just because it makes it look a lot more professional. We also capped it up top, right here, if you can see that. But one of my favorite things is I love the sink. This is a 30-inch sink, and it's deep. I think it's 9 inches deep, 30 inches wide. I love it because now you can fit 2 pots in here, or you can fit a pot and your dishes in here. You know, a lot of people try to not get the ones that are deep. They get to do the really cheap ones, and I think that's a very disservice to your tenants. Get the deep ones, and then this one only cost me about $1.50. It came with the granite. But one thing I would recommend is don't get the one hole. Try and get a three hole. Because I feel like this is going to break and become something that's always going to be a nuisance for me to repair. If I would have got the three holes, I would have the faucet hot, cold. That would have been easier. But I'm a big fan of how this came out. Really big fan of how this came out. One thing I do want to point out, we replaced every single vent. All the vent covers were replaced just because some of them were different colors, some of them were not white, and I didn't want the paint over it, so we had the paint over look, so we just replaced all of these vent covers. We replaced all of the outlets. Oh, camera's not focusing. There we go. We replaced all the faceplate covers, all the outlets. I redid all of the electrical outlets, all of them. Every outlet you see, we literally removed everything, redid the wiring, redid the outlets, all the switches. Some of them we capped off like that one you see right there. And that's going to be for a garbage disposal. I don't put garbage disposals in my rental, but if the tenant wants to pay for one, then you have the receptacle to make that happen. We got a new door, which is white. The door that was in here was an oak color, like a tannish oak color. And I was kind of nervous about the white, but once you put that little curtain over there, you barely notice it. And I think it actually blends in because of the white trim. Of course, we have the smoke detector. Fire extinguisher right there. All right, so from there, this is a big merry-go-round. So again, that's where we started off with the accent walls underneath the staircase. So let's go ahead into bedroom. We'll do bedroom 3. This one is, this is dark. This is really dark. I don't know why. Oh man, I really want to show you guys this room because what happened is that it's actually panel. It's wood panel, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but we did the gray, and the gray came out really nice. I'm really a big fan of how this came out. We did the white on top, we did the white trim, and we did the lighter gray up top, we did the light trim in the middle, light gray on the bottom. And the reason we did it on the bottom is because the trim equally divided the room in half. So I didn't want the darkness of the room, I didn't want the darkness of the gray to overpower this room. So we just kept it light so that we had more light in here, and it kept everything bright. I think the reason it's dark in here is because we only have maybe 2 light bulbs or something that are working. But this room it came out really well because it was wood paneling that we painted over painfully. The most painful thing was kind of getting in between all these little rivets, but we did it and it came out well. I'm so proud of my painters because this room came out really nice. Nicer than what they were telling me it was going to turn out because they had their doubts. But then from there we have one more room. Why do none of these rooms have all the lights? So, little things that you still got to check off the bucket list. I want to replace all these light bulbs. I know we have them somewhere. I just don't know why they haven't been installed. But again, same thing. There's no, this one we just painted all gray. It came out well, just like the room upstairs did. And, it's a decent size. You can put a queen size bed in here, still have a little reading chair or something like that, and a dresser. The closet is there. There's enough room in here to do whatever you need to do. So long as you don't try to fit a California king in here, you'll be fine. But you could do a queen size bed in here, a dresser, little computer table, and a chair, and you still have utilization of the closet. So let's go ahead and check out the bathroom. This is the bathroom here. I was very nervous. We kind of copied what we did upstairs with the oak. We did the gray. Gray turns out the gray came out really well. There's no complaints. The gray came out really well. I like the curtains that they have in here. And what I was so nervous about is if you look closely at the floor, it's actually green. The floor is green. It's white on green, and I was very nervous because I thought that's going to show off too well. But all the other elements overpower the floor, so when you kind of step back and look at it, you don't even notice. The floor doesn't draw your attention. What does draw your attention is the nice, medicine cabinet, the nice vanity, the cool gray that kind of engulfs the bathroom. The brightness of the light. Everything just kind of flows in here when you look at it, and that was what I was trying to accomplish. I will say that upstairs we have a different gray than we had down here, right? So upstairs we had the mauve gray, and here I was being cheap. I didn't want to go back out and buy another can of paint. We were being rushed, so we just went with what we had an abundance of, which was this lighter gray. I absolutely did not want to put the dark gray in here because the dark gray would make this place look very, very, very dark. This regardless of how much light we had in here. So very happy with how this bathroom came out. Stand back. Again, you don't even notice the floors. You know what I mean? You really don't notice the floors. You kind of assume that they're black diamonds, but they're not. They're green. It's white on green. So we'll close that off. And there's one more room down here. This is bedroom number 5. And this room is huge. You can put a California King in here. This house gives you tons of options because you have so many rooms and they're all decent sized. Like this room is big enough to be a master, a very decent sized master. You can definitely have a king size bed in here, a California King in here, and still have tons and tons of space. And there's you got 2 windows for lighting, 3 windows for lighting. You still have 2 big closets. It's just a great size room. So, that's pretty much it. This is 2,500 square feet. 2,800 square feet of renovations. We had 2 bedrooms upstairs, a bathroom, and an attic. We re-insulated the entire attic. So one side of the house we went in and really just redid all the insulation. The bathroom upstairs was a complete gut. We ripped everything out, all the flooring, all the tile. There was actually tile originally on the wall that surrounded the bathroom. We ripped all of that out. So this took a little bit of this took some capital. The biggest thing that I regret doing is we ended up having to rush, kind of like maybe 75% into this project. We started having to rush. The tenant that was moving in here was kind of losing her house to foreclosure, and she had a deadline to be out of her property. So in order to meet that deadline, we started to kind of try and pick up the pace, and we had people in here, pulling really long days, getting here at 6, not leaving until like 9, 10, 11 at night. And I appreciate the dedication and support from my team. We did have to start relying on outsourcing some of the work that required less skills, and that ended up being something that I regretted doing. Because we would have people, we would hire people to come and paint, and they would suck at painting. So they would come in, they would do a half-ass job on the painting, and then my guys who I kept around to really do the painting would have to come back and go over the subpar work that they did. And that, in essence, kind of really slowed us down, especially as we were rushing to do the finishing line. So the paint job upstairs is 10 times better than the paint job downstairs. And you guys aren't able to see this in the video, but I walked through this house and I'm frustrated at certain things because I know the level of work that I expect from my people and that they deliver, and it's just a little bit painful when you try to give people a chance and they let you down. But that's real estate, you just have to cycle through certain people. So that's it. So this is a project we finished. Took us about maybe 30, 45 days to get everything done, and we're still coming in here. My maintenance guy, who's also my contractor or lead contractor, comes in and does touch-ups from time to time. I give my tenants about 30 days to kind of go back and forth and negotiate with my contractors to kind of finish out some punch lists and things of that nature before I kind of move out. For single family houses, I make sure that they pay for everything just because, it increases the pride and ownership. A lot of times they want to do upgrades and improvements. I'm like, yeah, sure, go do that. It's on your dime. Just make sure my contractor gets the work done. We're perfectly fine. The tenant here wants to go in and finish the basement. She's talking carpet tiles and everything like that. And I'm perfectly fine with that. She can go in and do it herself or hire my designated contractor to do it. But yeah, so again, moving forward as I do work, I want to do my best to try and document it so I have a portfolio so people, kind of see the effort and passion and dedication and commitment that I put into the things that I do. I don't want people to look at me as someone that's just all talk. I am not all talk, and properties like this that I put work into are representation of that. I've just done a bad job of documenting that. So any questions, let me know. Drop me a comment. Help me grow. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that you do on YouTube. Yeah, always appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to be rocking out. And then if you need a good granite countertop person in the Philadelphia area, let me know because these people did a good job.